Hello students, welcome in the second lecture of dimensions of physical quantities. Today I will discuss the uses of dimensions. First is to establish a relation among different physical quantities. Now to establish relation between different physical quantities I will consider an example. Let us consider a small heavy ball of radius small r and drop this ball in a liquid of infinite extension. Now this ball will move downwards in the liquid due to its effective weight. A net force acts downward on this ball. Due to this force, the velocity of the ball will go on increasing, and as the velocity of ball increases, a net force starts acting in upward direction. This is known as viscous drag of the liquid, and this force also increases as the velocity of the liquid increases. We want to calculate this viscous drag acting on the ball. This viscous drag acting on the ball depends on three things. First is radius of the ball, second is coefficient of viscosity of the liquid, and third is terminal velocity small v of the ball in the liquid. Now what is terminal velocity? As the ball goes inside the liquid, its velocity increases, and as the velocity of the ball increases, the viscous drag acting in upward direction also increases. But a limit reaches, or a time comes when this upward viscous drag becomes equal to the net downward force acting on the ball. After this condition, the ball starts moving with a constant velocity, and this velocity is known as terminal velocity. Now we will consider the same example. A small spherical ball of radius r falls with velocity v, this is terminal velocity, through a liquid having coefficient of viscosity eta. Find the viscous drag capital F on the ball, assuming it to depend on radius r, coefficient of viscosity eta, and terminal velocity small v. Now let us consider the viscous drag F on the ball depends on the radius of the ball small r raised to the power a, and on the terminal velocity v raised to the power b, and on the coefficient of viscosity eta raised to the power c. So F is directly proportional to r power a, F directly proportional to v power b, and F directly proportional to eta power c. So if we combine all the three, we get F proportional to r power a, v power b, eta power c. If we remove this proportionality, we have here a constant, so F is equal to k r power a, v power b, eta power c. Here k is dimensionless constant of proportionality. Now we will find out the dimensional formula of both the sides. First, dimensional formula of LHS. This is mlt minus 2, because dimensional formula of force is mlt minus 2. Now we will find the dimensional formula of RHS. RHS first is radius. Radius means length, so we will have L power A. Now velocity is Lt minus 1, here B, so Lt minus 1 power B. Similarly, coefficient of viscosity eta is ml minus 1t minus 1 and power c. Now we will solve this and write here in this way. So we get m power c, L power a plus b minus c, and t power minus b minus c. Now for correctness of this equation number 1, the dimensional formula of both the sides of this equation should be equal. So we equate the dimensional formula of both the sides, that is LHS and RHS. So we get mlt minus 2 is equal to m power c, L power a plus b minus c, t power minus b minus. Now according to the principle of homogeneity of dimensions, m here is 1, here is also 1. So we have c is equal to 1, a plus b minus c is equal to 1, and minus b minus c is equal to minus 2. Solving these equations, we will have b is equal to 1 and a is equal to 1. On substituting the values of a, b and c in this equation number 1, we get f is equal to k r power 1 v power 1 eta power 1. Now on the basis of experiments, we can write the value of k equal to 6 pi. Then this equation becomes f is equal to 6 pi eta rv. This is known as Stokes' law. Next use of dimension is to check the correctness of an equation. Let us consider an example. Check the correctness of the equation v is equal to 2gh dimensionally. We will obtain the dimensional formula of LHS and then RHS, and then we compare them. If the dimensional formula on both the sides of this equation are same, then the equation is correct, otherwise the equation will be incorrect. So dimensional formula of LHS is velocity, it will be L t minus 1. Similarly, dimensional formula of RHS, it is g is acceleration due to gravity, its dimensional formula will be L t minus 2, and h is height, its dimensional formula will be capital L. On combining it, we get L2 t minus 2. Here you can easily notice that dimensional formula of LHS is not equal to dimensional formula of RHS. Thus the given equation is not correct. Now we will consider one more example. Examine the dimensional balance of equation t is equal to 2 pi under root L by g of time period of vibrations of a simple pendulum. Dimensional formula of LHS, time period, it is t. Dimensional formula of RHS, it is under root, length is L, and acceleration due to gravity L t minus 2. Solve this equation, we get under root t square, or we may obtain t. You can notice that the dimensional formula of both the sides of this equation is same. Thus the given equation is correct. Next use of dimension is to convert the units of one system into the units of other system. For this we use a principle which I have explained you in the previous lecture. That is, the product of the numerical value of a physical quantity and its corresponding unit is constant. That is, n into u is a constant. Now consider, if the numerical values of a physical quantity P are n1 and n2 in two different systems, and the corresponding units are u1 and u2, then in that case P is equal to n1 u1 is equal to n2 u2. Now if the dimensions of the physical quantity are A in mass, B in length and C in time, then its dimensional formula will be MALBTC. If the fundamental units in one system are M1, L1 and T1, and in the other system are M2, L2 and T2, then P is equal to N1, M1A, L1B, T1C is equal to N2, M2A, L2B, T2C. From this equation we can write N2 is equal to N1, M1 by M2A, L1 by L2B, T1 by T2C. Using this formula, we can convert the numerical value of a physical quantity from one system of units into the other system. Here we will consider an example. The value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. By the method of dimensions, find its value in kilometer per minute square. Dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity is L t minus 2. We can write it m0 L1 t minus 2. Here A is 0, B is 1 and C is -2. L1 is meter because here it is in MKS system, so L1 will be in meter, T1 in second, and N1 is 9.8. Similarly, L2 is kilometer, T2 is minute, and N2 we have to find out. So we will use the relation N2 is equal to N1, M1 upon M2 A, L1 upon L2B, T1 upon T2 C. We will substitute the values. N2 is equal to N1 is 9.8, M1 upon M2 A is 0, so here we will put 0. L1 is meter, L2 is kilometer, B is 1, T1 is second, T2 is minute, and C is -2. Now 9.8, this will become 1. Here it is meter, here it is kilometer. We will convert it in meter, so units will be cancelled. Here also this is second, this is minute. We will convert minute into second, so second will cancel out. Here what will happen? 9.8 into 1 upon 1000 into 1 by 60 to the power -2. It will come to the numerator and will become 60 into 60. On calculating this, it will become 35.28 kilometer per minute square. Now this has been converted into kilometer per minute square. Next we will look upon limitations of dimensional analysis. By this method, the value of any dimensionless constant involved in the formula cannot be calculated. Next is, if the physical quantity depends upon more than 3 factors, then relation among them cannot be established. Next is, by this method, the equations containing trigonometrical, exponential and terms like log x cannot be analyzed. Next is, if any physical quantity depends upon the sum or difference of 2 or more physical quantities, then it is not possible to establish a relation between them dimensionally.